How are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. Well, hi everyone. This is Liz Nichols from Liz Nichols, a Woman in Motion, and I'm over the top ecstatic to have a conversation today with Trevor Gordon from the Canadian Epilepsy Alliance. And to kick this right off, I'm going to have Trevor introduce himself, and I would love him to share um, about Canadian Epilepsy Alliance because they are just the best organization. So over to you, Trevor.
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity, Liz. Basically, I do the communications with the Canadian Epilepsy Alliance. It's the umbrella of 25 epilepsy organizations across Canada. So if you have epilepsy and you live in Canada, go to canadianepilepsy.org, canadianepilepsyalliance.org, and click on locate your agency, and you'll find there's an epilepsy organization, most likely in your part of Canada.
It's a brilliant, brilliant alliance, and I'm going to be throwing a couple questions at you. And there's so much information to share that I really feel like a lot of Canadians don't know everything that your organization does to help us with epilepsy. And so maybe if you could explain the difference, like there's a couple different organizations or things out there. So if you could sort of explain what Canadian epilepsy does and how it plays out in the epilepsy world in Canada.
Well, to be clear, our organization is the only organization that is connected to the 25 epilepsy organizations across Canada. So, and we're proud to be members of CLAY, which is the Canadian League Against Epilepsy. And we're also we have voting rights. We're a member of the IBE, which is the International Bureau of Epilepsy. And then we're also members of the Medicines Coalition. You can see all this information under our website, under the About section, CanadianEpilepsyAlliance.org. There's an About section. It goes into all the information, how we're connected. But it's exciting to know that we are all the 25 epilepsy organizations across Canada. We all have individual goals. We all have individual paths, but we meet month to month, and we have joint goals as well in the sense of creating epilepsy awareness across Canada.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. And there's so much that you guys do to help others and support others. It's incredible and it's amazing. So, and just to let everybody know out there, we're going to run a segment or a series of information around Canadian Epilepsy Alliance and what they do to help others because there's just so much brilliant work they're doing out there. Um, so let's see, Trevor, what would be the most important thing to you for us to share today about the Canadian Epilepsy Alliance?
I mean, there's so many things, so many paths, but I mean, right now, I've been so focused on getting the public, people living with epilepsy, to share their story. So, Liz, to put a spotlight on you for a couple seconds, you were kind enough to write out your epilepsy story. And I want to turn the table a little bit for a second and interview you for a moment. I mean, why, how did you feel when you wrote that story? How did it feel doing that, to kind of revisit that and put it on paper and get it on our website?
Well, it actually was really good for me to do that. I had done one previously, but for some reason, this one, it was getting it off my chest and being vulnerable again and learning to share that I have quite a story. And in writing it, I was just thinking, and you get quite emotional thinking, if this could just help one other person, and hopefully more than that, understand that there's a lot of people that have epilepsy. Mine is supposedly dormant right now, which is great. So I'm happy for that. But it's an interesting journey in life. Like I wrote, that there's so much to it. So when you write your story, there's a whole round of emotions around yes, or maybe it'll help somebody. And so it's a really freeing experience to write and share your story. knowing the truth is out there in the public. I guess that would be how I feel. Good question, Trevor.
And I appreciate you answering that, because the reason why I asked you that is to really encourage the public, whoever's watching this, this is important. I mean, many people out there think that epilepsy is this rare disease. Let me tell you, there's over 300,000 Canadians that
Yeah,
have epilepsy. And as I tell the public, it might be a hidden disease, but it's not a rare disease. So I am trying, the Canadian Epilepsy Alliance is trying to get as many of those stories put on our website. Every individual living with epilepsy has a story, and
yeah,
we should all be told. And we're wanting to get ambassadors, people that are kind enough to write those stories, get it on the website, brag and tell the world you're a person living with epilepsy and you're living your life and you have your goals, and it's
yeah.
not stopping who you are as an individual person. And Liz, from you've been kind enough to be an ambassador, share your, whether it be not just that the fact that you're sharing your story, you're going around telling people about the website, you're explaining what the Canadian Epilepsy Alliance is to those that don't know what it is. You've been kind enough to fundraise and donate to Canadian Epilepsy Alliance, and explain the importance of fundraising for epilepsy organizations across Canada. So, Liz, I mean, you're being a good mentor, whether you know it or not, to the public in the sense of what an ambassador is, and sharing those stories.
Thank you, Trevor. I'm not quite used to that, but anyway, thank you. Well, one of the things too about the Canadian Epilepsy Alliance is when I first got epilepsy, oh, many years ago, there wasn't really any resources. When I was diagnosed with it, it was just like, here, take these medications, and you've lost your license, and they didn't really explain or talk about it or offer any kind of assistance. And so you kind of walk out of the office and you go, uh, what do I do now? Right. And so you just learn to navigate, I guess, as best as you can. And then it was great to see resources like this pop up and be around, because again, there was not anything really for me in the way of assistance or guidance or what you do. And as a matter of fact, when I got it, nobody I knew had ever even heard about it. Nobody even knew what it was. So that's why I'm so passionate about the Canadian Epilepsy Alliance, because you offer so much in the way of support and resources for people out there. And that just makes my heart flutter. I'm so excited and happy about that. So I thank you and the organization. You've got a great group of people. And I'm very, very grateful and thankful. So everyone, we're going to do an ongoing series, but before we end this one, I want Trevor to explain the best way. I think you already touched on that actually, but the best way to get a hold of the Canadian Epilepsy and check out everything they're doing, because it really is a wonderful organization. I feel very blessed to be able to utilize their resources. So over to you, Trevor.
CanadianEpilepsyAlliance.org. I mean, just to extend your point that you made a moment ago, it is such a good point. Like, neurologists will tell the person, hey, you have epilepsy. You've been diagnosed. We can confirm you have epilepsy. And then they send the person off into the world.
Yeah.
And it's no disrespect to neurologists, but they are busy people and they're running around. And you might see a neurologist, your neurologist, if you're lucky, a few times a year. You know what I mean? And you might only get 5 minutes with them. So
Yeah.
epilepsy organizations across Canada are offering free support, free programs, free services to people living with epilepsy. So be sure to go on our website, be sure to find the epilepsy organization in your area. They are offering free programs and services. And that's why I think it's also important to tell the public epilepsy is the third most common neurological disease. And let me tell all your viewers, epilepsy does not get government funding.
Oh,
Epilepsy is the third most common neurological disease, and it does not get government funding. I said it twice for a reason. People
okay.
are
So
thinking that all these epilepsy organizations are out there. There's 25 epilepsy organizations, and we are not getting any government funding. And we're offering free programs and services to those living with epilepsy.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay, that's a whole different topic.
I know, but I just wanted to
Later.
explain
Yeah.
that that's the importance of these epilepsy organizations. And when people like yourself were kind enough to create a fundraising page, even you made your first donation to your own fundraising page, that money goes into epilepsy agencies across Canada.
Wow. So everyone, oh my gosh, I'm just so thrilled to be able to chat with Trevor about all this, and I look forward to our next one. For those that would like to donate, there is a donation link, I believe, on my website. I'll make sure it's up shortly, and I'll put the information how to contact Trevor on this as well. And stay tuned. We have a whole bunch of great topics that we hope are very, very helpful. And for those that would like to be an ambassador, reach out to Trevor. It's great. I'm very, very honored and proud and excited to be an ambassador and provide information about them because, again, it wasn't there for me. And the struggle is real and it's hidden and you don't talk about it and people don't understand it. And I completely get that. So, Trevor, thank you so much. I look forward to our next one. And everybody, happy holidays. Bye for
Thank,
now.
thank you.